Welcome to another video from Dr. Log. So what I thought I'd do is I'd take you over all the restricted key profiles we've collected in the last couple of years. This is not the complete collection. This is just some of which are out there. And I guess it's interesting because a lot of different places around the world have restricted keys. This is what a restricted key is. It's a key which is unique to each locksmith. So the actual grooves of the key, you can't just go ahead and buy a blank key like this. You need to get it from the same locksmith. There's only so many dealers in certain areas, and you've got to sign agreements and things to get these. Now these marry up with the actual keys themselves. So the locksmith can buy the keys, and then they can buy the plugs and they can make these keys up. And then that's called a restricted key system. So there's a lot of different sort of profiles and broaches out there. So this particular one here is an IP7, and I'll take you through and I'll show you that. But I want to show you all the ones that I've collected in the last couple of years, because there's some really nasty ones out there. And for any lock pickers who like to pick locks, you'll be able to appreciate some of these shapes and some of these unique patterns. You might even have something similar in your area or in your part of the world, and they might be, you know, something that you've seen before, or maybe a particular brooch or a shape that you haven't seen before. So just to get started, a lot of these are actually trademarked. So the design of the key and the lock and all are trademarked for a particular time. Then after that, they're not actually trademarked after that. But the thing is, any good locksmith wouldn't still duplicate any keys for somebody else's system. It's just not the done thing. So let's go through, and you can leave your comment down below which one you prefer is the best. And these are not in any particular order. This is an old rusty one, and I'll put a light on so you can actually see that profile. So that one there, I believe it's what we call the Locksmith Guild for that profile there. I don't know the exact name for it. You can leave it down in the description. But as you can see there, you're going to struggle to get a pick in there and be able to manipulate the pins, because that just goes left and right, left and right, left and right. I mean, Mr. Squiggle couldn't do a more squiggly line than that. So that's the first one there, first cab off the rank. Next one. So this is 26B. And if you can see that profile there, I'll move this light around. 26B. So it's not the worst profile in the world. It's pretty, I could get that right angle. It's, you know, you can't access those pins, especially if they're small cuts. But if they were deep cuts, you're going to be interfering with the brooch. And trying to use a pick gun on that, you're going to be hitting into the brooch. So that's 26B. That's not a bad example. Okay, so here we have IP1. Completely pickable. It was a Carver product. We did have it for a little while there, and then we moved over to IP3 and IP7. We're up to IP8 or 9 now. So the patent's expired for this one. As you can see, completely pickable, lots of room up there for the top, and yeah, the brooch, not that complex. Okay, what do we got here? IP3. So this is one of the ones we did use for some time, and you can see that shape there. Once again, pickable, enough room in there to get in there. A lot of squiggle to prevent people from being able to duplicate the keys, and yeah, not too bad. Not a hard one. Not a hard one in my books. Okay, and then we have IP7. So IP7, they stepped it up a notch from IP3, as you can see. And IP7, once again, completely pickable. I think the patent's even run out for that one too. So there's basically just a big triangle there in the middle. With the deep cuts, you're really going to struggle to try and pick that, but it is completely pickable. So I'll just show you how this plug goes together with this key. So here you see this key, and everything marries up. You can see how all the grooves and all the rest fit in there. That's what a restricted key basically is, and that's what these plugs basically are. They're such a unique shape that it's so hard to be able to recut that blade or do anything with the locks. That's the two kind of benefits you get. Okay, so this one here is a no name. I don't know what this is. It's been stamped over and over, but as you can see, not extremely difficult. Completely pickable. You've only got like that little triangle there on the left coming in, so that's doable. That's no troubles whatsoever. But it is, once again, a restricted profile, probably quite an old one. This one here, now this is different to the first one that I showed you, if you can see it, and it's got that anti-bump symbol there. So I'm not 100%, and it's got 1B on it. I'm not 100% sure who makes this one. You can leave it down in the descriptions if you want. Call it the one with the hammer. I think it might be some sort of Carver product, but I could be wrong, because they did go with a lot of anti-bumping type things. And there's your anti-bumping parts on the side there. So yeah, I have drilled one of these open, and I believe this was the one that had the stainless pins, and it was a nightmare. My drill bit got hot and all the rest, and I wasn't able to pick it. So, well, not in the time frame that I was on when I was on somebody's door. So this is a restricted lane, if you can see that there. Completely pickable, no problems with it, just a little bit squiggly on the keyway, very old, but restricted lane all the same. Okay, moving on. Here we have, I believe this is what we call Oz. Okay, so you can look at that. Pickable, you can go straight up the guts, no problems. A couple of little triangles popping in from the left and the right, and yeah, pickable, no problems. Okay, DE. So this is from the Lockwood range, the 6-pin inline Lockwood range. They have RBD, RBF, RDE. And then you have the M brooch, which is the master for all of them, and that reflects the same on the keys. So if I had an M key, the M brooch, I could go into any of these cylinders in this range and be able to get my key blade in. And that seems to be happening a lot now. A lot of people are making these restricted plugs, and they've got what they call an M brooch, or the next, so for example, you could have brooch 1, brooch 2, and then you could have key 3, which works both brooches. So I don't know what the correct term for that is, but multi-broaching or so. But yeah, this is one of those times where you can have RBD, RBF, RD, whatever, and then you can have a key that would fit in all of them. But a lot of the time, this is a DE plug. You just have that DE key that works that. These are very common on power situations, for power, accessing meter reading power. It's in here. Okay, so this one here, this is ST. ST. Now you can look at that brooch. That brooch is not very nice. You can see. So you can get a tension tool in there, no problems, but you see the left and the right. It is doable, but it's definitely going to be challenging. Nice challenging one. And then its little friend here, so this is D2. Now just look at that. Look at that. So that's a pretty hectic keyway. So I'm just trying to get you the best way to see it. That might be the best way. That's a pretty hectic keyway. Really hard to pick that one. Okay, we're still going. B13. Once again, I don't know the manufacturer on this. Pickable by the look of it. Challenging if they were deep cuts. B13. So there's lots of them out there. This is just what we have in Australia. So this is ML. So this is, I believe, from the Master Locksmiths Association. And this is the ML brooch. They also brought out the JA, JB, JC. This is ML. So pickable. You can see, you got a lot of swing there on those top pins. JC. So this is from the same group. And I'll just put it down so you can see it. Very similar to the ML pickable as well. Can be a little bit struggling on the deep cuts. JB, once again, from the same manufacturer, and pickable as well. A lot of these plugs are 20 years old. These patents and these profiles, they're 20 years old. The only time you kind of see them these days is on older buildings or systems that are quite old. So this is SPC. We like to call it SPC, baked beans and spaghetti. It is a bit of a nightmare to pick. Although it looks like you can go straight up the middle, you can't, because you've got the left fin, then the right fin, then the left fin, then the right fin. So basically your pick can't go straight. You just can't. You can't get up and around. You can't get around those triangles. You try and pick and you just end up hitting the brooch no matter which way you go. So that's a real nasty one, that one. And once again, we have this one here, which is, might be the same as that one. No, different again. Different again. So is that the same as that one? Similar, but different. So more of a wiggle on the top. If you can see that, slight more of a wiggle, and the one on the left is, so bring this down. The one on the right, this one here, is thicker. The one on the left is thinner, but almost the same design there. Very interesting. Nightmare to pick. Right, so that's some of the top ones that we have, in Australia. Depending on where you are, depends on, what they use, and there's also, whoever's the dealer in that area. But there's heaps of them, absolutely heaps of them. This is just a small representation of what I've kind of collected over the last, so many years. As for everything else, leave your comments down below which one you think will be the hardest to pick. There's a few that'll be quite hard to pick, and a few that you'd breeze through without even working up a sweat. So yeah, nice, interesting collection. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments.